The Concession and Fees Committee of the National Parks Trust is currently reviewing fees to BVI National Parks, where the payment of entry fees are required. Chairman of the National Parks Trust, Sheila Brathwaite, and Director of the Trust, Joseph Smith Abbott, confirmed this in an interview with JTV News. Currently, visitors to the territory are required to pay a $3 fee to enter the J.R. O'Neill Botanical Gardens, Sage Mountain, and the Bats. BVI residents don't pay to enter the Bats, but they do pay a $1 fee for both the Botanical Gardens and Sage Mountain. Chairman of the National Parks Trust says the Concession and Fees Committee are looking at fees for entrance and for those operating businesses at the parks.
The last time they met, we were looking generally at the fees for entry. We haven't finalized anything as yet. So we have nothing to submit to government because they would eventually have to approve the fees. But we are looking also, that committee also looks at fees for concessionaires. And we are hoping that we'll be able to have a reasonable fee for persons who will have concessions on at the various facilities.
Government has reduced its annual subvention to the National Parks Trust from $406,000 to $365,000. The subvention helps to finance the operations of the trust. Sheila Brathwaite says the trust is now tasked with being self-sufficient, and the proposed increase of the fees are geared to help with the upkeep of the parks and also to make it viable for the trust to operate.
Subvention which we receive from government has reduced, and we are charged with the responsibility to become self-sufficient. That is going to take some time. But and increasing the fees from say $3 to $5, it's just not going to be enough. So there are other things which we will have to do. But that's one of the reasons why we would have to consider increasing the fee. But we may leave that fee for the Botanic Gardens for locals as it is. Any increase will come to our visitors, and we hope that the increase, and I'm just throwing out a figure, a percentage, will be probably 25% the most at this point in time, because we want people to come. We don't want them to, feel as if we are charging them an arm and a leg.
The National Parks Trust officials also reported that a joint European Union project is coming on stream to enhance economic opportunities at Coppermine and the Bats. According to the National Parks Trust, a patrol vessel already acquired through the project is expected to arrive here in the next 2 weeks and would be used to patrol waters at the Bats and other areas around Virgin Gorda. The project also proposes the construction of 2 vending units at the Bats and a visitor center at Coppermine.
The buildings, actually, I should say, have been designed for both the Coppermine as well as the vending units at the Bats. So therefore, we are now really at the final stages of securing permission. At the public meeting, we were in a position to provide view of what it is that was proposed by way of the buildings, as well as what some of the functions that the buildings will serve, and the broader context of the need to enhance, obviously, some of the facilities for visitors of any type. I mean, I want people to really appreciate the fact that we consider a visitor to be not only someone coming from a far afield, but also local people, residents who would like to really take the time and enjoy what it is that we have. So therefore, we really are making provisions within the context of the Coppermine to not only be able to have visitors enjoy the facility, but also for residents, if they were so inclined, to also enjoy the facilities that we're likely to be building certainly within the year and into next year at the Coppermine especially. So certainly fostering public events of various types, meetings, and certainly special events of various types at the building, which obviously we anticipate building once all of the permissions are secured.
As part of efforts to improve revenue collection, the Trust is seeking the help of taxi operators in Virgin Gorda to ensure that visitors access the baths from the route at the top of the baths and pay the required entry fee instead of the alternate route through the restaurant in that area. Persons who visit the baths by sea pay the entry fee when they are cleared at BVI ports of entry. Charter companies also pay to moor their vessels at the baths. According to figures from the National Parks daily logs, approximately 85,000 persons visited the baths in Virgin Gorda in 2012.